Hop out for me, bud.
Don't get out of the car. Don't get out of the car.
Hop out of the car.
Do not get out of the car.
Why? Get out of the car.
Get out of the car.
Because it smells like weed in the car and they're shaking the car. Step back here. You need to leave my stop now.
You can arrest
Get back in your car and leave. I'm telling you right now.
I will be here with my. He's pulling. He is pushing me.
You're under arrest.
Get on video.
Nope, you're under arrest.
Get on video.
You're under arrest.
Get up.
Get on the ground.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, I'm not kidding you. I told you to stop.
Get on video, Bryce. Off. Get off.
You want to go to jail too? My hands are off. My hands are off. My hands are off.
Get off of us. Who are you?
Turn around.
My hands are off. What is wrong with you?
My hands are up. I haven't done anything.
I told you.
Put your hands up. Put your hands
You're
up.
under arrest.
Help. Hands are off. Help.
Stop.
Welcome back to Internal Affairs, a police podcast. The IA guy here. Look, man, you know what? We're going to be doing a lot of breakdowns from this point forward with the street dude. That's my guy, Pat Mahoney, all the way from the East Coast. And check this out, man. We were talking about, man, how are we going to make this fun, educational, informative? But I said, hey, bro, we got to play the part. So you know what? I had to get suited and booted, man, you know? Don't let all this fool you. You know, there is a little bit of street in me, but we'll get right to it. So here's the deal. We're going to go ahead and we're going to show you this video. But first and foremost, Pat, man, thanks for showing up, bro. Coach
Oh, thanks for having me. Glad to be here again.
Yeah, so let's just set this up real quick. Okay, look, there is a video that we chose. This is just this is the teaser. You got a traffic stop by an unknown. I want to say he's a deputy because the car says he's a sheriff, right? We don't know what agency because we try to do our homework and find out. But what I will tell you is shout out to. I think it's Midwest Safety is the website from YouTube. We had to do this because there's just so much to learn from this, you know, and get some nuggets out of this. The whole video is about 12 minutes. Well, it is 12 minutes and 39 seconds. We're not going to show you the entire video. We're going to show you parts that are very significant to what we're going to be breaking down. So stand by. Take a look.
Here's my stop. You're going 73 and a 55.
It's my son.
Okay, 73 and a 55. And it smells like weed in the car. You know he smokes weed.
It doesn't everybody.
Hop out for me, bud.
Don't get out of the car. Don't get out of the car.
Hop out of the car.
Do not get out of the car.
Why? Get out of the car.
Get out of the car.
Because it smells like weed in the car and they're shaking the car. Step back here.
Yeah, don't.
Right. You need to leave my stop now.
You can arrest
Get back in your car and leave.
I'm going to be here.
I'm telling you right now.
I will be here with my. He's pulling. He is pushing me.
You're under arrest.
Get on video.
Nope, you're under arrest.
Get on video.
You're under
Get
arrest.
up.
Get on the ground.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, I'm not kidding you. I told you to stop.
Get on video, Bryce. Get on video. Off. Get off.
You want to go to jail too?
My hands are off. My hands are off. My hands are off.
Get off of us. Who are you?
Turn around.
My hands are up.
What is wrong with
My
you?
hands are up. I haven't done anything.
I told you.
Put your hands up. Put your hands
You're
up.
under arrest.
Help. Hands are off. Help.
Stop. You're under arrest.
For what, mother?
You want to go to jail tonight too? Stand up. You're getting in the car.
Bryce.
I have
Stand up.
It's right there. It's right there.
Get off my phone. He's going to get in some shit.
Yep.
It's going to be all over Facebook.
Have a seat, please. You are going to jail tonight. Kick me. Make it a felony.
Quit.
Make it a felony, please.
My mother.
Get your feet in there. Sit down.
Car, mother. Please.
Oh, there's a felony. Good job.
It's must be really small.
Hope you enjoy jail tonight.
I have so many connections, you have no idea what you just said, sir. We have that all on video. It's going on everything.
I have it on video too, ma'am.
That is great.
Ma'am.
Your job is on the fucking line. You don't know my connections. It's going on. It's going down.
Okay.
I will be, yeah.
That's perfectly fine.
I hope your kids, I hope your wife, I hope they all get because you are a fucker. What's your fucking name, fat ass?
My name.
Fat ass? Is that it? That looks about right.
Negative.
The little fat ass with the little, that sounds right. That's it. You just lost your job. You watch. You don't know who I know around here.
Okay. All right. Hey, Pat, let me ask you this, bro. You watch this, and it's got over like 2.8 million views. It's kind of secretive because not many people know about this. So when I send this to you where you're like, I've never seen something like this.
Yeah, no, I hadn't seen it until you brought it up to me. It's surprising too. You think that would have gotten more exposure?
You would think so. And you know what? I will start off by saying that I'll go ahead and put on the IA hat to tell you that there's definitely going to be an IA out of this. And I think you and I can agree. But first and foremost, tell me what stands out the most. And the reason why I wanted to break this down is because these are more of one-man unit tactics as it relates to traffic stops. So you can take it from there. Talk to me about one-man tactics and what is it that stood out the most out of this particular incident?
So, after I watched the whole video, I found, I determined, I was like, there's a lot that could be taken away, especially for new officers. I think that this particular traffic stop touches on a fair amount of some case law, believe it or not, and a lot of officer safety points that, kind of led to this circus, that led it to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's super informative, especially like I said, breaking down each one of these little key moments throughout this traffic stop that led to that whole fiasco.
Yeah. So look, I'll go ahead and ask, and you can just kind of go along from there. Is I do know it was at the 4-minute mark where he decides to call for a backup, and so the struggle is the real deal. I mean, here you are in the middle of the road in somewhere, and look, he's going to go up to the kid. He has what he believes to be weed because he says it's shake, right? They're shaking the car, also known as marijuana leaves, and he was going 77 on a 55-mile-per-hour zone, so he's going to get a speeding ticket no matter what. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like he's been doing this quite some time because he was just kind of like, going along like, okay, I'm just going to do the traffic stop, get the kid out, and conduct my search. However, mom shows up. And believe me, in the comments on the YouTube channel, they really hone in on the mom. But would it be fair to say that both parties are held accountable for this particular incident?
Yeah, and let me preface what I'm about to say with, I'm sure the officer made all the decisions he made on this traffic stop with the best of intentions. He did what he thought it was right at the time. I'm not even saying it's wrong, but, like with any incident, there's takeaways that you can learn from, So the first thing that I noticed was, he conducted the traffic stop for speeding. And then he walked up to the window and I guess he detected the odor of marijuana and noticed that there was shake throughout the vehicle, right? Which is very common, happens all the time. And I think at some point he determines in his head probably, hey, I'm going to get this guy out. I'm going to search the car based on the probable cause of odor of narcotics, right?
Correct.
And the first thing that I noticed that maybe started setting the ball in motion was the mother shows up and he engages with the mother, walks over to the mother, and kind of involves her in the traffic stop, which there was like a kind of a twofold officer safety risk there, where one, you turned your back to the vehicle that you stopped, right? Which is probably never a good idea. And two, from my experience, and maybe you've had similar experiences, when you start talking to people on scene, you're kind of inviting them to join in on that incident. And now they do become part of that investigation.
Yeah.
And they feel that they can now interject versus, I've done this plenty of times where I said, hey, yeah, let me handle this and then I'll get back to you. Mm-hmm. So you kind of open that door for that mother to become, he didn't know that she was going to become belligerent at that time, but you kind of open the door to allow that to happen.
Right. And I think he made it very clear that he does not want her to participate or be nowhere near the car when he is, I suppose, trying to begin his search in the vehicle. Now, what is an option? Because my thinking is, I don't necessarily, if you go stand by your car, I guess I'm okay with that. But, what other options do you have besides that?
If you notice that there were other people starting to arrive on scene, which is very common nowadays, especially with cell phones, everybody wants to get on a cell phone and phone a friend when they get stopped. Maybe a good idea is to get backup units rolling to you. Yes. You don't ever want to be outnumbered on a scene,
right?
Regardless of how amiable they may seem at the time, right? Things can turn, which in this case, they absolutely did. They took a turn for the worst. So, my recommendation would always be, hey, if you got a weird feeling, just get that backup rolling as fast as possible.
Right. And he managed to do that up until like I think the 4-minute mark. And again, in the episode, we'll go ahead and timestamp all that stuff what we're discussing. But at some point, he made that decision. But while he's waiting for backup, and it takes a while to get backup, the way the location is at, the way it depicts. But talk to me, man. That struggle with two. I mean, I what I'm trying to figure out is what other options or what is it that he could have done better. And again, we're not here to be completely passing major scrutiny on the officer. Again, what he did to me, this is just my opinion. I think that, hey man, give the guy a medal for doing what he did. Having
Right.
two. I mean, 1v2, man. That's pretty crazy. But talk to me. What kind of tactics do you do on a one-man unit?
So, police tactics are developed with, I don't want to say the worst case scenario in mind, but they're developed, to help with situations when they go sideways on you, right? So the biggest thing that I saw, which maybe shouldn't have happened, was he decided at some point to get the kid out of the car, detain him, and search the vehicle by himself, which we don't search vehicles by ourselves. Under no circumstances, we just don't do it. I'm not going to confirm or deny that I've never done it in my career.
Right.
But there comes a point in your career where you look back and go, wow, that was really stupid. Something could have gotten wrong, right? Because what you're doing at that point is saying, hey, we're working on the honor system. I'm going to hope that this bad guy or this subject doesn't do anything to me while my back is turned and I'm searching a car.
Yeah.
That's not the way it goes.
Yeah.
Once he decided to get him out and detain him is when mom approached and everything went sideways.
Yeah. And
And now you
wasn't
find
having
yourself
it.
severely outnumbered.
Yeah. And then mom, for whatever reason, did not want him to search the car.
Correct.
And she also said, quote unquote, she says, don't get out of the car, Bryce.
Right. So that's your first, right. If that was the biggest red flag that something's about to go sideways, it would have been that moment,
Yeah.
But what I always like to tell officers is, hey, what is the rush that we have to search this car right now? We have a saying, hold what you got, hold them there.
Yeah.
Wait for your backup to get there, because now one can handle mom, one can stay with the kid. And from a case law standpoint, I'm not sure who knows this, who doesn't, but the second you detain somebody, case law is clear. There's a special relationship doctrine there. You're now responsible for that person. So you don't want to search a car by yourself, even if someone is in handcuffs now, because if you put him in the car and something happens to him while you're searching a vehicle or her, it's on you. You're liable, right? The courts you are liable because that person was in your custody.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you're going to detain somebody and you're going to search a vehicle, you should always have somebody else there.
Right. Now, given the circumstances by which this deputy was dealing with, I know at one point he's trying to get them both on their knees. And so the average listener or watcher for, in this podcast that perhaps doesn't know why he's trying to do that, can you kind of explain that? Would that be considered like a position of advantage on behalf of the deputy?
Right. So he tries to, assume some command and, get them in a, position, a commanding position, put them on their knees. He's issuing orders. He's trying to get them to comply, and they're not having it. They're just not having it. And there's these weird bouts where they're going to do it. They're not going to do it. They want to be difficult. They want to comply. And it's a bag of cats, and in no way, shape or form there's no way you can safely detain two people that are being uncooperative as one officer. It's almost impossible.
And to that point, considering what he did, I would imagine, thank God, nothing. I think we talked about this before we decided to get on the air. He's lucky, right? He's lucky that nothing really bad happened.
A lot of times in a traffic stop, you're really at the mercy of the vehicle you're stopping. I've had some incidents myself, on the road where maybe the only reason that you didn't get harmed or things didn't go sideways was because the subjects in the car just chose not to do the worst case scenario, right? That mother, that son, they were being difficult, but had one decided to brandish a weapon or actually be super combative, it could have had a much, much different and much more drastic outcome. So the officer is in fact lucky that it didn't go any further, and it wasn't by his choice; it was by their choice.
Right. It was the conduct that dictated by both the mom and the son. Very unfortunate. Anything else that we can learn, or any other nuggets, takeaways that we can share with the watchers and listeners as it relates to traffic stops with the one-man unit? And I tell you, because I never worked, well, when I made sergeant, I was a one-man unit, but throughout my career, I've always had traditionally LAPD has 2 officers in a car.
As one-man unit, I was always a one-man unit when I was on patrol. And you had to take the totality of all the circumstances. If your spidey senses were tingling, maybe get your backup rolling before you stop that car, before you kick those lights on. Have them already headed to you. If you can articulate, I'm probably going to need some more, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, pros and cons, risk versus reward, especially as a one-man unit. If you're at the window and you just smell some weed and you have some, kind of uncooperative subjects, let's not push a bad situation over some weed, right? Like, hold what you got, stay at the window, have your backup. Now, if the subjects force your hand, that's, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But, do things on your terms as long as you can. Don't push a bad situation over something that's not worth it.
Yeah, no, totally. For me, I think the nuggets are, one is definitely time is not of the essence. You got time in your hands. Get yourself some backup for sure. And then the other one would be let's kind of tactically approach a situation where you have someone who's speeding. And again, there might be some weed. And for all we know, and again, we don't know the city, we don't know the county or the town. But yeah, the juice is sometimes not always worth the squeeze, if that's, where we headed with this. I think that's very important. Now, before I let you go, of course, I got, I got the IA look. Would you agree, a lot of colorful language?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, definitely. Definitely rated R.
Yes, fatigued. Through this use of force. So you know what? I'll frame the allegations for you. This is an automatic IA, 100%. She wasn't having it. It's supposed to go through all over social media. You don't know who you're messing with, et cetera, et cetera. And so definitely one allegation of what they would frame as excessive force or unauthorized use of force. You know what? Exonerated. That's good to go. Whatever it is that he applied as it relates to affecting this arrest, I'm good. I'm 100% good with it. Granted, we can train and get some other and debrief it, maybe get some extensive training as to what not to do next time. I'm all with that. And then the other allegation that I was thinking also would be the colorful language. She'll probably say something along the lines that he was being rude and disrespectful. That's going to come back completely unfounded, not exonerated. Exonerated means that it happened, but I followed all department policy and procedures as it relates to this particular allegation. But if she's going to go and allege that he was rude, disrespectful, and treated her in a very disrespectful manner, unfounded, not sustained. That's just the way it goes. And that's pretty much it on my part. Before we wrap it up, brother, anything else that we can share about this?
No, again, I think the officer did an excellent job given the situation he was in. Those 2 subjects were completely out of control. I haven't really seen any behavior like that from a mother and a son, which it was pretty shocking. But no, like we talked about earlier, do things on your time, on your terms. Don't rush. Don't, when you rush is when you miss something. When, the devil's in the details, bad things can happen.
Yeah, no, totally. 100%, man. Hey, man, I'm going to wrap it up, but hey, you know what? We got to tease him a little bit, man. What do we got coming up next? Breakdown. What's something that we discussed that we want to kind of share?
So we're going to be going over drawing and exhibiting your firearm on traffic stops.
That's right, man. And you know what? Breaking leather and holding it out, and we're going to find an example. And believe it or not, even though it is a tactical application from your lens, I can definitely share if it ever becomes an eye lens as well. But hey, man, Pat, street dude, thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
No, thank you, man. Always a blast.
You got it, man. We'll see you soon. And on that note, like always, please, please, please be safe out there. And don't forget to go Code 6. Thank you.